Time, it's the universe's ultimate constant, right? It marches forward relentlessly. Seconds tick by, minutes turn to hours, days melt into years. We live our lives by its rhythm, planning our days, our weeks, our entire existence around the ticking of the clock. We measure time with incredible precision. From the ancient sundials to the modern atomic clocks, humanity has always sought to understand and quantify time. Atomic clocks track the smallest fractions of a second. These marvels of technology are so precise that they would only lose 1 second every 100 million years. But what if it all just stopped? Imagine the chaos, the confusion. Our entire world, built on the foundation of time, would be thrown into disarray.
Imagine a world where clocks cease to tick. No more deadlines, no more schedules. The very concept of time would become meaningless. No more seconds, minutes, or hours. No sunrise, no sunset, just an endless, unchanging moment. A world frozen in time, just an eternal, unchanging now. A moment that stretches on forever, without end. This scenario, while purely hypothetical, forces us to confront a fundamental question. What is time? Is it a tangible entity or merely a construct of our minds? Is it merely an illusion, a construct of human perception? Or is it something more, something fundamental to the very fabric of reality? Or is it a fundamental force of the cosmos, woven into the fabric of reality? Time, as we understand it, is deeply intertwined with space, forming the very structure of the universe.
The very idea of time stopping challenges our understanding of physics, biology, and even our own consciousness. It forces us to rethink everything we know about the universe and our place within it. Could time actually stop? The laws of physics, as we understand them, suggest not. Time is a fundamental aspect of the universe, intricately linked with the fabric of space itself. Time is intertwined with space, forming the very fabric of the universe. For time to stop, the universe itself would have to grind to a halt. Every star, every galaxy, every particle would cease to move. For time to stop, the universe itself would have to grind to a halt. The very fabric of reality would unravel, leaving us in a state of eternal stasis. A chilling thought, isn't it? The idea that everything we know, everything we are, is bound by the relentless march of time. And yet it is this very march that gives our lives meaning, that drives us forward, that shapes our existence. Let's delve into the hypothetical. Imagine for a moment that time has indeed stopped. What would you experience? Your first instinct might be to say nothing. After all, without time, there can be no experience, right?
But consider this. Our brains are constantly processing information, creating our perception of reality. If time stopped, this processing wouldn't simply cease. It's more likely that our brains, starved of new sensory input, would enter a state of stasis, our last thoughts and perceptions frozen in place. Imagine the feeling of the sun on your skin, the sound of a bird singing, the taste of your last meal, all suspended indefinitely. A terrifying yet strangely beautiful thought experiment.
Would we be aware of this frozen state? Would we be able to think, to feel, to dream? Or would our consciousness, so intimately tied to the flow of time, simply dissolve into the ether? This question, while unanswerable, cuts to the heart of what it means to be human. We are creatures of time, our lives defined by its passage. To exist outside of time is to exist outside of ourselves. Time is the silent architect of our existence, shaping our memories, our experiences, and our very identity. From the moment we are born, time begins to weave the tapestry of our lives, each second a thread in the intricate pattern of our story. Our milestones, our joys, our sorrows, all are marked by the relentless march of time. Imagine if that march came to an abrupt halt. Would we be trapped in a single moment, forever reliving our last conscious thought? Or would we drift into a timeless void, our sense of self slowly unraveling? Perhaps in that stillness we would find a new kind of peace, a release from the constant pressure of time. Or maybe we would discover a deeper understanding of our place in the universe, a perspective unbound by the constraints of time. Time, after all, is a human construct, a way for us to make sense of the world around us. Ancient civilizations had different ways of measuring time, each with its own rhythm and flow. Today we are bound by the precision of atomic clocks, our lives segmented into hours, minutes, and seconds. But what if we could step outside of that framework even for a moment? Would we find freedom, or would we be lost without the familiar tick-tock of time? This thought experiment challenges us to reconsider our relationship with time, to question how it shapes our reality. It invites us to imagine a world where time is not a constant but a variable, a fluid concept that can be paused, stretched, or even reversed. In such a world, what would become of our memories, our dreams, our very sense of self? Would we be the same people, or would we be fundamentally changed by the experience? These questions may never have definitive answers, but they remind us of the profound mystery of time. And in that mystery, we find a deeper appreciation for the fleeting moments that make up our lives. For it is in the passage of time that we find meaning, purpose, and the essence of what it means to be human. So as we ponder the idea of time frozen, let us also cherish the ever-moving present, the gift of each passing second. For in the end, it is time that shapes us, defines us, and ultimately makes us who we are. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. The cessation of time would have catastrophic consequences for human civilization. Imagine a world where the very concept of time ceases to exist. The impact would be immediate and far-reaching, touching every aspect of our daily lives. Our world is built on the foundation of time. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed, our lives are governed by the ticking of the clock. Time dictates our schedules, our work, and even our leisure activities. Communication, transportation, economics, all rely on the synchronized movement of people and information. Imagine the chaos: airplanes frozen mid-flight, cars stalled on highways, financial transactions halted midstream. The global economy would grind to a halt, causing unprecedented financial turmoil. The very systems that underpin our globalized world would crumble, leading to widespread panic and disorder. Cities would become ghost towns with people fleeing in search of stability and safety. The infrastructure we take for granted would fail, leaving us vulnerable and exposed.
Without the regular cycle of day and night, our sleep patterns would be thrown into disarray. The human body relies on the natural rhythm of light and dark to regulate sleep. Without this cycle, insomnia and other sleep disorders would become rampant. The circadian rhythms that govern our bodies would be disrupted, leading to a cascade of health problems. Chronic fatigue, weakened immune systems, and mental health issues would become widespread, straining our healthcare systems to the breaking point. Food supplies would dwindle, and access to clean water would become a matter of survival. The agricultural sector, dependent on predictable seasons and time cycles, would collapse, leading to food shortages and famine. In the absence of time, the social fabric that binds us together would begin to fray. Relationships would be strained as people struggle to adapt to a world without structure. The sense of community and shared purpose that holds societies together would be severely tested. Cooperation, so essential for human survival, would be put to the ultimate test. In times of crisis, humans have the capacity to come together and support one another. But without the guiding hand of time, would we be able to maintain the spirit of cooperation? Would we come together in the face of such adversity, or would we succumb to our baser instincts? The answer to this question would determine the future of our civilization. In the end, the cessation of time would force us to confront the very essence of what it means to be human.
Section 4. Nature's Rhythm, a world out of sync. The natural world, so intricately connected to the ebb and flow of time, would also experience profound changes.
The Earth's rotation, responsible for day and night, would cease. Plants, reliant on sunlight for photosynthesis, would be thrown into disarray. Animals, their biological clocks disrupted, would struggle to adapt to a world without time. Migration patterns would be disrupted, and food chains would collapse. The delicate balance of nature would be irrevocably altered.
Imagine a world where rivers no longer flow, where the wind no longer blows, where the very air hangs heavy and still. This is the unsettling image of a world without time. The Earth itself, no longer orbiting the sun, would be cast adrift in the vastness of space. The consequences for our planet and all life on it would be nothing short of catastrophic. Section 5. Technological silence when innovation freezes. Our technologically advanced world would grind to a halt.
Computers, reliant on precise timing mechanisms, would cease to function. The internet, a vast network of information flowing at the speed of light, would go dark. Communication systems would fail, plunging the world into an eerie silence. Satellites, frozen in orbit, would no longer beam down data. GPS navigation would be a thing of the past.
Imagine a world without the internet, without smartphones, without the constant hum of technology that has become so integral to our lives. It's a stark reminder of how dependent we've become on these inventions. In a very real sense, Time is the lifeblood of technology. Without it, our digital world would simply cease to exist. We would be thrust back into a pre-digital age, forced to confront the challenges of a world without the technological crutches we've come to rely on.